Welcome. We are a mother-daughter podcast about all things surrogacy. Together, we have brought 8 beautiful babies into this world, and we would like to share through education and knowledge about surrogacy with those who want to educate themselves on the topic. This is Stop.Sit.Surrogate. Hey everyone, if you ever thought about becoming a surrogate, I want to share something with you. Stop.Sit.Surrogate is now a matching and referral agency that helps guide you through the very first steps of your journey. We'll walk with you until you're matched and connected with a trusted agency that supports you all the way through. It's such a meaningful process, and knowing you're not alone makes a huge difference. So if you're curious about surrogacy or ready to take that first step, check us out at Stop.Sit.Surrogate.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stop.Sit.Surrogate. Today, we are welcomed by a repeat guest. We love her so much. And I'm going to let you just reintroduce yourself.
I'm Whitney. I am a two-time gestational surrogate, and possibly on my third journey, maybe, who knows?
Ooh.
And I'm a military wife, and yeah, happy to be back.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm happy to have you here. So a little bit about what today's about is I asked a couple weeks ago, what kind of stories would you guys like to hear? And I had a couple girls reach out asking about military spouses, and Whitney was like, I'm one. I was like, yay, Whitney. So she's here to answer a bunch of questions that I don't even know. So we're just gonna get right down to it. I mean, because you've been on before, but do just like a little nutshell of like how you got into surrogacy?
Oh yeah, I'm adopted, and then like I knew there was different pathways to parenthood, and that different family like not all families were the classic mom, dad, two kids. Like
Yeah.
families made in different ways, shapes, colors, sizes. And I knew that I wanted to be a part of something special for someone else. So originally adoption was on my mind, but then like when I got married and had my own kids, I was like, no, like I want to do this for someone else. And I remember seeing just like you, I saw Phoebe on
Yeah.
Friends. She was like
Yeah.
my first, like I was like, oh wow, you can do this for someone.
Hmm.
And then like I looked into it. I was on the process for like 2 years, and then that whole journey just like got washed out. And then
Oh.
I restarted it again like 2 years later. And then that was successful in 2022 was my first successful birth. And then 2024 was my second.
So just last year.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. And we're just gonna throw this in there, Whitney. Whitney, I have not watched it yet, but I'm about to. That's on my plans tonight. But Whitney was on an HBO. I'm throwing this out there. I didn't even ask you. Whitney was on a HBO docuseries, right? Like can you explain? I promise we're gonna get into the military thing, but you're here, so now I have to talk about
No,
it.
I'm happy to. I'm happy to. I'm really proud of it. It's a 8 episode docuseries about different family cultures and dynamics from around the world.
Okay. So
So,
each episode is different.
yes.
Okay.
So it all centers around Pedro and Ben, which was my IPs,
Oh.
their pathway to parenthood. But because I was a big part in their pathway to parenthood, my family's in it a lot. Um, but it also explores like family cultures in China and Italy and Japan. Like he goes all over the world and interviews people with different family dynamics that are so much different than they are in America. And it's truly beautiful. You see like that not all families are created equally, but they all are based in the root of love. And it's super special. Um, and our, sorry,
No, you're good.
the second episode, which comes out tomorrow, is completely our story. Um,
Oh,
but
so
we're
like you're okay.
but we're in every episode with them.
What? Oh my gosh. Somebody was saying because I watch things while I work because that's when I have the most time. But they were like, it's in a different language, so you'll have to read subtitles. Is that true? So I have to read subtitles?
Yeah, so Pedro
Okay.
is Brazilian.
Okay.
So native language is Portuguese. And the docuseries was released first in Brazil,
Okay.
but then it's worldwide. So um,
Oh.
if he's talking to the camera just one on one, he is talking in Portuguese. So you have to read subtitles. But the majority of it is in English. A lot of it's in
Oh.
English. It's
Well,
just
then okay.
like one and doing his like what do you call them?
Like little interviews type things. Yeah.
Like one-on-one with the camera. It's in Portuguese, but a lot of it is in English.
So this is one of your intended dads that like put this whole series together. That is so freaking cool. I'm like so excited. I was like, oh, I know what I'm watching now. Like, this
He's
is
a
so
journalist.
cool.
He wanted to document his journey to, parenthood, and
Yeah,
he did it in a really beautiful way. So, you know,
seriously.
each everyone else's stories kind of like tie into his a little bit or ours a little bit. So,
Okay.
um, our main story is tomorrow, but we're in each part because, he'll like be talking to a family in Japan, and then it kind of like pans out and goes back to him and us and how like that ties into his story too. So it's amazing. I
That
haven't
is
watched it. I've only seen the first episode because
right.
I'm watching in real time with everybody else, but it's exciting and nerve-wracking, and I know there's gonna be like some naysayers out there, but I'm just really proud of what we did together and this little girl that's here, and I'm proud to be in something that's going to educate.
Yes. I think that's the beauty of this is like it's finally something out there about surrogacy that's like positive, like happy, like not like let's put like negative spins on it. It's like you said, there will always be naysayers because that's just the way the world goes round. But this was done in a good light. Like so it's, there's no bad blood on it.
And it's just something I'm really proud of. So I'm
You
happy.
should be. I'm excited. So we get to watch you have birth. Were they in there? Wait, were they in there?
Yeah.
Girl, you were brave. I don't know if I want people up in my business.
Well, the film crew wasn't there. We
Okay.
tried the film crew there because they were supposed to be there,
Oh.
but they were like on the other side of the world at the time. And she was like, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm coming. So my husband filmed it from like my shoulder, like my head.
Oh, okay.
Like you can't see my business because,
Good.
they
I don't think HBO would allow that anyways. Maybe they would. I don't know.
would. It was like up by my head filming like her delivery, and they were like next to me, like holding my hand.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. You're just like wonderful. I already knew that you were wonderful, but like this is just like, oh, okay. We could sit here and talk about this all day, but whatever. We'll move on. Um, just real quick, what's it called? Just that
Uh,
way everybody can. Sorry.
Unfamiliar, somewhat familiar. Sorry, somewhat
Somewhat
familiar.
familiar on HBO Max, right? Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, moving on. So, Whitney's amazing and she's also a military wife. So, you were a surrogate both times while your husband, like, was he like active duty?
Yeah, yeah.
He
He just
was.
retired. Well, he's actually still considered active duty right now, even though
Okay.
he's on like terminal leave. He's just using up all of his unused vacation.
Oh, okay.
But he is officially retired completely come December 1st.
Wow. What
Years.
in the world does that mean? Like, for me, retired means like pack up my bags. I'm done. Like, here I go. Like,
So he's been in since he was 18, so like
oh,
20 years. And he wanted to be in it longer. He just um, is no longer medically fit to serve.
sure.
He type 1 diabetic. He developed type 1 diabetes while he was in the service.
Oh, wow.
And he is considered, he's not worldwide deployable. So
Okay.
no longer be in the Coast Guard anymore. So, but he retired. He has like all of his benefits. He has, TriCare insurance for life. Um, and he gets his retirement and stuff, which is amazing. So we're really proud of him. But now he's like, now what? What do I do?
Yeah. Does he have to work or is it like when you retire from the military, is it kind of like you retired like normal people?
He probably like he still has to work. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's like a percentage of his pension. But we could probably like live off of and be fine with his pension and my job, but um we like to travel, we like to do things.
Sure.
So we want to do the fun stuff too. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so I guess I'll just go to my questions because I have questions, but they're probably in here. Let's see. Okay, so military families move often. How did that impact your surrogacy journey from screening to matching to delivery? or did it not?
Um, so initially, when I looked into surrogacy in 2017, we were in Florida.
Okay.
And at the time, my husband was traveling a lot to Panama and to like southern Florida. And that was like the height of Zika.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
think I remember
So,
this conversation.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, okay, unless like he gets tested every 6 months because he
Right.
areas, like
Right.
you can't do this.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was like push back, push back, push back. And then like I finally was like, this is too much. And then we're moving to Hawaii. So I was like, this isn't the right time. Yeah. So we moved
Right.
to Hawaii. And then in the beginning of 2019, or like August of 2019, I started to kind of think about it again.
Okay.
But the pandemic happened and I was like, this is a sign that this is just not the right time.
Right.
And then March of 2021, I was like, let me open that door again. And then I knew I was going to be in Hawaii for 4 years.
Okay.
So I knew like we were in
Stability.
for a while.
Okay.
Um, and that's how I found my first set of IPs in Hawaii. And then with Isabel, I was in the hotel in Connecticut about to go to transfer the next day when we got the call from the military that told him, so we're gonna medically retire you. And he had like 18 years in at this point. And they're like, so that means like no retirement, no this, no that. Um, we're gonna give you a severance, and that's it. And that'll be in like 6 months. And I was like, I'm getting pregnant tomorrow. Oh my God. So like
Oh
that
my
meant,
gosh.
yeah, that meant like we would have been moving when I was like 6 months pregnant from Hawaii. And I was like, what does this mean for this? So I immediately called my agency, my case manager, and I was like, we might be moving from Hawaii, and I don't know where we're moving to.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now because my transfer is in the morning. And she's like, it's okay, we'll figure it out. She's like, are you going to Michigan? I was like, nope. She's like, are you going to Louisiana? I was like, nope. She's like, then we should be fine. Like we can work around this.
Oh,
And I was like, okay.
okay.
And we kind of decided like if anything, I would just move a lot sooner.
Okay. Oh, like you would move before he would?
Yeah. So that
Okay.
like I wasn't like too far along to,
Oh, I see where you're going. Okay.
but then I went for transfer, things were fine. I was successful. And then he was like, I'm fighting this.
Oh, good for him.
I can't believe at 17 and a half years, they're gonna say, you're done. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You have to make it to 20 years to get your like full benefits and full retirement.
Okay.
And he was like, nope. So we fought it. He obviously won, made it to
Good.
20. But yeah, it was definitely like you might be moving like in the middle of this journey.
Oh, wow.
But to answer your question, like I never had to. We were in a place where it just worked out where we were in the same place the entire time.
But your agency, even though you didn't have to, your agency was like, as long as you're not moving to these three places, which I'm assuming is because the law's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you're not moving to these three places, we can make things work.
Yeah. So like anything else like was manageable. They could figure it out.
Sure.
But in most cases, they do want you to be in the same place for at least 2 years. Like, no, you're going to be,
There. Yeah.
I think because our situation was so unique.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, I know I have military friends, so like I know that like oftentimes it's like, oh, we'll be here for a couple years, but things do come up in the middle of it, and they're like, just kidding, now we need you over here, like so,
That is
and
with each journey. It was like, are you going to be in this place for at least 2 years? I was like,
right,
yes. And then, like, if you weren't, there was kind of some gray area, but you
which
know,
is fair. That's understandable. So, how did your partner's service schedule or deployment affect your surrogacy experience emotionally or logistically? Was he like living with you, or like were you guys like separated like while he was deployed? I put quotes because I don't know how this works.
so he hasn't deployed since like 2000. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since
Okay.
the entire time we were in Hawaii, he did not deploy at all.
Oh,
So we were together. And the
that's
job
nice.
that he had in Hawaii was a so it's gonna sound crazy, but he was the manager of a bar in Hawaii on the Coast Guard base. It's a Coast
What?
Guard bar, and he managed it. Um, and so like for the both journeys, like if I needed him, he was around. Like his co-manager was super supportive of the whole thing. She was amazing. But
Wow.
the Coast Guard, like the Coast Guard as a whole is very supportive of families and of these type of things. Like if he would
Okay.
have been on the because his official job in the military, he's a helicopter mechanic. So
Oh,
even if
that's a
he would
fun
if he'd have been on the hangar like doing maintenance or even being like a supervisor, if something would have come up, he would have easily been able to come home and be with me and help me and the Coast Guard's super family oriented. Some of
one.
the
Oh,
services are
nice.
not.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends whose like husbands have missed their births, like
Really?
of their own children. Yeah.
Oh, how sad.
Sort of tries to keep families together for the most part.
That's nice, at least. I mean, for that section. Oh, okay. Have you ever thought about growing your family but aren't sure what your options are? Or maybe you're someone who wants to help others experience the joy of parenthood. That's where Paying It Forward Surrogacy comes in. Paying It Forward Surrogacy is a full service surrogacy agency that guides intended parents and surrogates through every step of the journey with compassion, transparency, and personalized care. From matching to legal support to emotional wellness, they make what can feel overwhelming feel deeply human and supported. Whether you're considering surrogacy to grow your family or you're ready to become a surrogate yourself, Paying It Forward Surrogacy is there to walk beside you every step of the way. Okay, so let's see.
The biggest challenge I think with like military and surrogacy is
Yeah.
the insurance.
Okay, yeah. So why don't we get into that? Because that's what you said kind of at the beginning, right? Is like insurance. So you said something about, again, I literally know nothing except for fight for my country. Like, and that's shame on me because like there's so many different branches of like the military that like I just can't,
And
I
there's so
just
many
know army.
like
Like that's all I know.
stories of every branch too, so it's
Yeah. So when it comes to insurance, because like I always hear like, oh, okay, like we're gonna like people marry young in the military because like insurance, and I'm like, oh, is it like great? Like, is the insurance like wonderful? Is it's like decent?
it's pretty good health insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's two sides of TriCare. There's TriCare Prime, which
Okay.
is um, if you live within a certain amount of miles to a military facility, then you have to see the military doctors there.
Oh,
So, like in Hawaii, there's a military base every 10 miles. There's multiple in Hawaii.
oh,
So, yeah, I had to see a military doctor when we lived in Hawaii. But if you choose, if you, that's the one that's like, you don't really pay out of pocket for that one. And there's no copays or anything. If you choose to go TRICARE Select, then you have copays and deductibles, but you can go where you want.
like anywhere you want?
Like you can see any doctor you want. Like with
That's
Prime,
nice.
you have to
Yeah.
have like a referral for anything from your primary care physician. And with Select, if like I need to go see an ENT, I can just go see an ENT.
Okay, so the select is like a PPO and the prime is like an HMO.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, understood. Very
Like
interesting.
as a whole is not surrogacy friendly at all.
Okay, so it's not. So you would need to get additional insurance.
But the problem that I ran into the most was that whatever wasn't paid out by the additional insurance, they would bill TRICARE. And then TRICARE would send it to me and they're like, what's this? I'm like, and like some stuff they just covered. But
Oh,
yeah, like because some stuff I didn't get a bill for. But like some stuff, like both deliveries, I never got like a separate bill for or separate.
really?
So I think TRICARE just covered it and didn't ask questions. But so there's a program called DEERS.
Okay.
And like when a military member gets married, they enroll their spouse in DEERS. This is how TRICARE tracks who's like
Who's
in the family.
okay.
You have a kid, you have like 30 days to enroll them in DEERS. Or if they get like a bill, they'll enroll them like automatically.
Okay.
surrogate baby. We'll call him Squirt because that's what I call him.
Oh my
He was he was enrolled automatically. And I didn't know until he was like 5 months old.
God. What? Wait, did you give birth for the first one? Did you give birth at like, oh, wait, for the first one? Oh gosh, wait. Did you give birth then at a military facility?
No,
Okay.
because of my additional insurance that I had, I went to like a regular doctor.
Then that's
Yeah.
so weird. Okay.
That's the hardest part to finagle because if I have a cold, then I go to my doctor and
Right.
then TRICARE is like, wait, you have this other insurance.
Yeah.
Like, yes, but this. And they're like, oh, okay. So then they'll cover it. But like if it's all like anything to do with, maternity or
Right.
postpartum, it's all the other insurance, but they bill TRICARE as the secondary, and sometimes they pay it and sometimes they don't.
Oh, how crazy. Okay, but that baby was enrolled automatically.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I think he was like 5 months old when I found out because I went onto my portal because I was
Yeah.
scheduled for myself, and I clicked like the box to drop down the link to give me the names, and
Yeah.
I seen his name, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh
It's like,
no.
right. So we had to call and like do all of
Oh.
this work and like explain to get him removed.
Oh
And
gosh.
it was easy. It
Oh.
was, but at first we were like, oh no, like if they see any bills, are they gonna like make us pay for them out of pocket? Because at this point, escrow's closed.
Right. Like, what do we do? Oh, yikes. Okay, but that all got taken care of. It was fine.
Yeah, and then Isabel was never enrolled, which I kept looking, I kept checking for her, but she was never enrolled. But the insurance part is definitely the trickiest part to navigate because TRICARE is very finicky.
So when you say it's tricky to navigate, are you talking about like during the journey or like getting the extra health insurance?
Just during the journey, like
Just during it.
getting the additional
It was
health
easy.
for easy. My
Okay.
case did all that for me. Um, I would get paid every month and then I like they would pay me and then I'd pay the insurance
Okay.
because legally no one else can pay your insurance premium for you.
Right.
I didn't know. So they would pay me and then I'd pay the insurance directly. But it was just tricky to navigate because of having the TRICARE and the other insurance and trying
Right.
to keep them very separate because like I didn't know what I could use this insurance for, what I could use my TRICARE for. That was the tricky part for me.
Yeah, like navigating through that. I've had it similar when I was, gosh, when I first was a surrogate, but it wasn't military stuff. I was on like Medi-Cal. Like but I had to use that for like my personal self, and then I had to use, and even to this day I'm like, I don't have Medi-Cal. I have health insurance with this job. Please stop trying to bill the second insurance. I wish that like people would just ask before they do it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it was interesting for that part.
Yeah. Okay. So but did that, it never ended up costing you like extra? Like it was a headache to deal with at times, but it never like costed you like financial stress or
It did.
oh.
Um, so my first journey, right after I delivered, I got like really sick and had to go back to the hospital.
Okay,
And
I think I remember
felt
that.
like it was a total fluke thing, but I went back to the hospital, and because it was related to the pregnancy, it was supposed to be paid to the um,
Surrogate insurance.
yes.
Yes.
They denied it for whatever reason, and then TRICARE denied it. But I didn't know any of that until he was like 6, 7 months old.
What?
And then I was like, oh, so then I reached out to my caseworker with that insurance, with that surrogacy agency. And they're like, oh, like escrow's closed. Like you can talk to the IPs about it and have them pay it. And it was like a $2,100 bill. And I was like, oh no, like this is this is bad. I was like,
Yeah.
you just talk to him. Um, and some perspective, like my IPs and my first agency, they had a really bad like
Go around.
Yeah, they did not speak to each other. Um,
With like the IPs did not get along with the agency type thing.
yeah,
Okay, yikes.
like mid-pregnancy things just went really sour. So my agency was like, yeah, you can talk to your IPs and tell them like, see if they'll pay it, but escrow's closed, so it's out of our hands. And I was
Okay.
like, you want me to ask my IPs to just pay this? And I am so weird about money and like talking about money that I was just like, I'll just pay it. So
Oh,
I
I
just,
remember.
yeah.
That's right.
And then last year, I think it was, or 2 years ago, I was with my IM and we were having a few drinks, and my husband let it slip about that. And she's like, "What bill?" And I was like, "Nothing, it's taken care of." And she's like, "Tell me."
Oh
So,
no.
oh my gosh, why wouldn't you tell me? I was like, "It's fine, it's taken care of." She's like, "I owe you a vacation."
Oh, that's very sweet of her.
You didn't tell me, like, like you shouldn't have paid for that. Like, if she's very, very like, she's like my little bulldog. She's always in my corner. She's always fighting for me. Like, I love her so much. But she was like, first off, like, they shouldn't have put you in that position to tell you to do it.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. That's not on you.
Like,
That's
no matter
what's
how
an
our,
agency for?
yeah, like, no matter how things ended with us, like, that was their job. They should have reached out to us and talked to us about it. But second off, like, you should have never felt like that was on your responsibility. But
100%.
you know what, water under the bridge, I paid for it, it's over, whatever. But and it did happen the second one too. I did
Really?
feel like way after, but my agency that time was like, we'll take care of it, we'll figure it out. And like they, yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice. A different agency.
Yeah.
Clearly. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's the scary part of that, huh? Like with even with any insurance, like where it's like you don't get the bill until like weeks, maybe months later, and it's like
Yeah. And
yours
I
don't
didn't
have to take that long.
go along because the surrogacy insurance denied it and then TriCare denied it. But because
Right.
I had to go through both insurance companies, it took months and then it didn't get to me until like 6 months later. And I was
That
like,
is crazy. Yeah, and
yeah.
escrow definitely would be closed by then. Yikes. Well, I'm glad it got figured out. It's a bummer that you had to front the first one, but now things to look out for people when you're interviewing agencies.
I misspoke because actually it was 3 months. The first time it
It was
was,
only 3 months?
yes, because when I told this to my case manager with my second agency, she's like, they closed escrow at 3 months. And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's not normal.
No, that's not normal.
Okay. Because, yeah, mind you, this is like 5 years ago, so, or 4 years ago, whatever it was.
Sure, yeah.
It's 3 months they closed it out at. Yep.
That, yeah, that's not normal because
I had, once I had like my 8 week postpartum and then like 4 weeks more,
yeah,
they,
they were done. Really?
I'm remembering that now. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
the 6 months.
yeah, because I think and I know like some states now or some states are like, oh, it's like it has to be like open for like a year. So like I know that they're like getting longer because like just like
Things just come through.
health
Yeah, it
industry just sucks. Sorry, it does.
does.
I work for it and it sucks. And it's just like, yeah, so they're very slow to everything. But three months is really, really short. That's definitely on that first agency, and
And
they
like
should
I
have.
was so new to everything that I was just like, okay,
You don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know. And that's the aggravating things. Gosh. Um, okay. So, what kind of support did you find within the military community during your journey? Were people understanding, curious, or maybe even hesitant? And I have an additional question to that. Are there a lot of military wives? I constantly would hear all the time in the beginning of my journeys, like, "Oh, are you a military wife?" I'm like, "No. Do I have to be a military wife to be a surrogate?" Like, that was the question I got all the time, and I was like, "I don't understand. Is this like common?"
oh, I don't feel like it is at all.
That is so
Um,
crazy.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of the opposite because like I don't want to like get thrown to the
The
wolves per se,
sharks.
but like you know what I'm trying to.
Stereotypically,
Yes, that's the one.
I got
Um,
you.
Military men are a little bit more like, this is my wife.
Reserved.
Yes, and So I don't, it's not a super common thing. And
Okay.
a lot of like, a lot of our friends were supportive about it, but a lot of people we talked to were like, I would never let my wife do that.
Oh my God, I hate that term.
Or, like, that's just not for us. Or,
Right, right, right.
and I did hear a lot from women who were like, my husband would not be okay with that. And I'm
Oh,
like, I
interesting.
can tell my husband I want to like start a hot air balloon farm tomorrow, and he'd be like, okay.
How can I help? Yeah, exactly. I never got that whole like my husband would never. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, my husband's like the most supportive human being on the planet.
Thinking about navigating surrogacy without an agency? You don't have to figure it out alone. At Surrogacy Simplified, they provide one on one consulting and case management for independent journeys, concierge services for agency led journeys, and a supportive intended parent private community built by a two-time mom through surrogacy herself. Whether you're going independent or working with an agency, they'll guide you every step of the way. Join their free intended parent community or upgrade for weekly support groups and a self paced course that helps you confidently manage your journey. Stop.Sit podcast listeners get $100 off premium with code STOPSIT. Start today at surrogacysimplified.com. Your safer, supported, and more affordable path to parenthood. What decade are we living in?
But I was like, it's different for everybody, and I get it. Some people just aren't open to the idea of it.
Yeah,
I think like I'm trying to think of like any other like military spouses that I know. It's not super common within the.
really.
I don't feel like it is.
I don't know why. I was constantly asked all the time, oh, are you a military wife? No, I'm not. And then it would be like, oh, like a lot of military women do this. And I'm like, what? Like, okay, cool. I don't know. Like, is that like, and I always thought that was like a weird thing. And the thing that I was told is like, oh, well, what else are they, literally, this is what I was told. What else are they going to do when their husbands are away? I'm like, I don't know, like have a life? Like, like, what do you mean? Like, it was the most,
1950s
yeah, it was
ideology ever. Like just have kids and you know.
so weird. So that's why I was like, oh, is this like a common thing in the military world? But you're saying not so much. Did you live on base?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
The bar that he worked at was on base, and it was like open to like all different branches, and all different branches came.
Okay.
And I consistently ran into the comment of, "You're the first person I've ever met that's done this."
Really?
Like, okay, so and it was all military, so I don't feel like it's very.
Guess
I
not.
My husband was stationed with a guy in Florida or Michigan, and his sister-in-law was a surrogate, and I think her husband was military too. But I've
Okay.
never. There's nobody. I think there's like two other surrogates I know who are military spouses.
How funny. I don't know where this stereotype came from. Like, or
One of my case managers with my last agency, um, or one of them who helped with my case,
yeah.
she's a military spouse, and then the guy that my husband worked with, his sister-in-law. But it's not like something that I.
It's like super common. Not like all the military wives are getting together every Sunday being like, how's that bump going? Like, like, yeah, like,
No, I don't think so. Like
but were
it,
people so okay, so because I understand, I mean, I do understand when people say like, oh, my husband wouldn't feel comfortable with this, or oh, like I would never let my wife. And I do think that all revolves around the lack of education due like with surrogacy and like the myths that are out there and things like that. But I do know that the military is a little bit more reserved at times. So e- all around, were you kind of like accepted as like this was like an okay thing to do?
I mean, everyone that we met or talked to, like I've only had like a handful of really bad run-ins with people.
Okay.
And like most of them were strangers, two of them were people that I actually knew. But
Oh, yeah.
none of them were like military community. All of our military community, friends, family, like they were all super supportive.
Great.
Like constantly checking in on me, like making sure I was okay. Like, no, we had so much positive, feedback from it.
And how does because in the beginning of like being a surrogate and everything like that, and like it's like how's your support and like who's your support people? Because you're a military wife, like I would say what 9 times out of 10 you're not near family. Like so what is your support? Like how do you get past? Like that's always been my question is like how what do you women say is like your support besides your husband? Because a lot of times agencies are like, well, you got to have people. And it's like, well, sometimes grandparents are like across the country.
Luckily in Hawaii, we had a very good community of friends,
Oh, okay, good.
a really good community of friends, and they were all like super supportive, like, cooking for me after I had the babies
Aw.
and like, checking in on me, like taking care of the kids and just really good friends, really good support, like the kind of family that people wish they had.
For sure. Not
Like
blood, but blood doesn't make family. So,
it was a family for sure. Um, everyone like I had to spend a little bit of time in the hospital after I had Isabel, like weeks after I had her. I had to go back to
oh,
the hospital. Nothing scary,
okay.
just like my blood pressure kind of shot up and I panicked.
Oh, okay.
But one of my friends came and sat with me because my husband had to work, and I was like, "No, you go to work. Like, it's fine. I'm fine." Um, but one of my friends came and sat with me like all day at the hospital. She brought me like because I went to the hospital in makeup because I had makeup on when I went when I went, and I was like, I'm wearing like 2-day-old makeup, and she's like, I got you, girl. She like came and brought me like makeup remover and like a face
Hmm.
mask and like a coloring book and all this stuff she brought. Like she's like, this is for you, so like you have something to do,
How
and that was really nice.
sweet.
And her husband's a Marine. Like, I think she had given thought to doing it at one point in her life.
Yeah.
Um, and then she's like, no, like it's just, I'm too old now for it. But
Sure.
she had considered it at one point in her life too. So, but
Oh,
she was
wonderful.
supportive, and we had friends that cooked for us, and just took care of the kids, and it felt like it felt like my family. So,
I feel like oftentimes when I talk to like, because I have some people that like live near me and like some my kids' friends' parents are military. And so and it seems like their unit, like their friends of the military, like they're all very close. Like they're all very like that's like a second family. So is that I'm assuming that's kind of common. That's kind of how I always hear it. Like, oh, these are like my brothers, these are my sisters, these are my peoples. So that's got to be like really nice to have that extra group.
like it. Because no one else knows what you're going through except for other military members, like
Right.
where we lived in Hawaii, we lived in a neighborhood that was so saturated with military, but it was every branch.
Oh.
And they would all pick on each other about, being in the different branches. And there's like this rivalry, but it's like a funny
Fun.
rivalry between the branches. And, you know, we, we had this like, back and forth with all of our friends. But at the end of the day, like it really was just this huge, big family unit, that like showed up in the biggest ways for us and for each other. And, you know, there was like 30 of us and we did
Wow.
everything together.
That's
Like,
so cool.
like we did everything together. And then I think you'll see in the documentary too, because they show us trick-or-treating one night and like our entire group, it's like 30 people trick-or-treating together.
Overwhelming, but so cool. That's so cool. No, that's sweet. Well, then good. So then you guys have support. I mean, obviously I'm just going off of your story, but the majority of what I hear, right, is because people live on base as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, those communities are super tight-knit as well.
Right. So it's nice that like even if you don't live on base and you're in a saturated community, that's so fun. Oh my gosh, I want like 30 friends that don't annoy me. That would be so nice. Um, okay, so how did your spouse and children react when you told them you wanted to be a surrogate?
Oh, so positive. My husband knew like at some point in our marriage, I was gonna either like, let's adopt, let's foster, let's do this. Like he knew. Um, so when I brought it up to him, he was like, okay, you know, yeah, like that's what you want to do. I'm on board. And my kids were so little the first time. God, they were like 5 and 8, I think.
Okay.
But they were so used to me fostering like animals.
Oh,
That's kind of how I explained that to them. I
sure.
was like, I'm gonna foster a little baby in my belly,
Mhm.
for a long time, and then when it's born, it's going to go live with its forever families. Just like when we foster kittens and puppies, and they were like, okay, like,
Makes sense.
and like the second time, like once like they were older, they just understood like the baby was not coming home with us. They would get to meet the baby, but it wasn't like, you know, our baby to keep. And
Mhm.
my kids adore both sets of my IPs. Like,
Aw.
my son doesn't like a lot of people at all. And if you ask him on any given day, like, who are your favorite adults? He'll say, besides you and dad? I'm like, yeah. And he'll say, Uncle Ben, Uncle Pedro, and Aunt and Uncle from the first. Yeah.
How sweet.
So much. My kids love them. Like, they beam when they're around. Oh, yeah. It's,
That's sweet. That's the beauty of surrogacy, because then you get additional family, uncle, auntie, uncle. Like what? That's
yeah,
sweet.
very special relationships.
Yes. Surrogacy can be this, people. It can be this.
And
And it
it,
is this more often than not.
it makes me sad that not everyone gets this. Not everyone wants this, which is also fair.
Sure. Yep.
For the ones who do want it and don't get it, or, if IPs are not forthcoming with their intentions or who they truly are, like, it just makes me really sad, you know.
It's hard to navigate that,
Very,
for
yeah.
sure.
And and everyone's like, oh, you can do it again, you can do it again. And I'm like, I'm hesitant. Like, if I did it for another family, like, I got super lucky twice. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to again on that.
You know what, Whitney? Where were you a couple years ago? I should have stuck by you on that. Oh, I got lucky two times. I shouldn't have done it the third time, man. That third time. You're rolling the dice on that. Did the experience strengthen or change your family's perspective on community?
I think it's strengthened, especially my kids and my husband's, because we knew that we were done growing our own family, and being able to extend our family in such a unique way. It really gave my kids the perspective of, again, like, not all families are created equally,
Yep.
but they're all rooted in love. And, it I think it really did open their minds to, the differences of the world, and like how, like, what one person says a family should look like or a family isn't what it always is.
Right. There's
Their
no one size fits all. That's
kids definitely have like pretty open minds because of surrogacy, and I mean more or less how I raised them as well. But
yep.
surrogacy definitely like broadened their perspectives and views about families and life itself.
Yeah. I agree with you. 100%. So do you think surrogacy fits well within the values of the military community, like service, sacrifice, and helping others? That's a good question.
Absolutely, because I mean, it's literally all of those things.
Yeah.
It's service, it's a sacrifice, it's, helping others. And, you know, um, I'm not going off to war and fighting for my country, but, I'm fighting to give someone else something they wouldn't have otherwise.
Right.
I'm sacrificing, you know, my body. I'm sacrificing, you know, maybe a trip that I want to take that I can't take because now I'm pregnant. I'm sacrificing, holidays or visits with my family because I can't travel.
Right. You are.
I don't know if like the upper heads of the military would agree with me, but it's definitely, I would say that it's aligned with those same beliefs. Yeah.
I think if you put them side by side,
Yeah.
first, I mean, it would be if you did a pro and con list, I think a lot would align. Yeah. I, whatever the upper say, do the it would be that. Um, let's see.
The military is all about like doing the greater good for the majority, or like,
Right.
you're sacrificing something from yourself to make someone else's life better, you
Hmm.
know, sense of like the military is the military to keep the states free. I sacrificed certain aspects of my life to give someone else the ability to be a parent.
Yeah, 100%. You're
Like,
you are just fighting a different battle. You're still fighting. You're just fighting a different battle.
up to like a military, personnel or anything, definitely wouldn't do that. But, I think that um, both things can be honorable and respected in different ways, but on the same scale.
I think so too. I think you said that beautifully. Um, what advice would you give to other military spouses considering surrogacy? Is there a list?
Really, let's just like definitely be mindful of the insurance stuff because it does get very tricky to navigate, just because of how finicky TriCare is. And you know, make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, for sure. I mean, that's with
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
um, but try to find someone else who's done it as a
Mhm.
military spouse, or try to find someone who's just been a surrogate you know, in general, um, and get like X all the questions, get like to anybody who's looking into surrogacy, period.
Yeah.
Research, research, research. Like knowledge is power.
Mhm.
Surrogacy can be credible, but you have to ask all the questions and get all the answers because man, that first journey, I didn't know anything and there were some big surprises. So
And you
anybody who's into surrogacy, like just make sure you're researching everything.
it's and it's hard and it's hard. It is hard. It's very hard. And that's why it's oftentimes I mean everybody who comes on, right? Research, research, research. And it's like, well, what do I research? And it's like literally research everything, but also it's so hard to research everything. So if there's a specific thing you aren't even probably thinking of, just reach out to anybody in the community. And I know that anybody would definitely, you know, give you their ear and their advice on anything. And especially, like you said, Whitney, like military spouses, like 100% reach out to military spouses, reach out to people who've done it. If you don't know anybody, Whitney's done it. Whitney's done
And that's always open. But
it.
like it's so hard because even like in my first journey, I was like, this is a stupid question. I'm not going to ask it. No, there's no stupid questions. Like,
Never.
especially in surrogacy,
Yeah.
because the better journey you're going to have. And it's just going to make that much more beautiful and that much
Mhm.
more special because you don't know the things you don't know. And
Exactly.
surrogacy, there's a lot you don't know that first, especially the first go round.
Oh, for sure. There's still things I don't know. Like things are popping up all the time. I didn't know anything in this conversation. I didn't know about TRICARE. I didn't know about all of this. So like there's always things that you're learning and it's hard to keep up with, but that's why the community is luckily built the way that it's built with so many helping hands and people. So
And I do, there's like
100%.
especially the Instagram surrogacy community is just
That's where
so,
I live.
yeah, yeah, like so amazing, like so, respectful of each other and willing to literally help anyone else out. Like I think we're incredibly empowering for each other.
I think
So,
so. I know. Why can't Facebook be like that? Facebook scares me. I started getting into Facebook and I'm like, these people scare me.
a haunted house, but it's just a Facebook support group.
For real. Oh my God. It's
I
like,
know.
I have like
Yeah.
a lot of anxiety on Facebook. A lot. It's, I don't like it.
Mm. It's scary out there.
Mm. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna ask you this, and I don't even know if there's an answer for it. Okay, but I like it, so it sounds fun. How has surrogacy impacted your identity as both a military spouse and as a woman?
Oh, um, so
It's deep.
yeah, I don't want to offend anyone who is a military spouse, but it has been my experience that a lot of military spouses, their whole identity is within their military spouse.
Okay.
I'm a military spouse. I'm a Marine wife. I'm a Coastie wife. but then they forget who they are. I have never
Sure.
been that person. I'm like, I'm Whitney. I'm a writer and I'm a cat mom and I'm a kid mom and foster animals and, I'm a good friend. And my husband happens to be in the military. Like,
Right.
and even like, I don't even think that's his identity either. Like,
Just his job.
it's his job and it has been a huge part of his life.
Yeah.
And it has put, it plays a huge part in his identity, but it's not his identity.
Yep.
And I'm never the wife who wears my husband's accomplishments on my heart because those are my accomplishments, those are his.
Hmm.
And I'm proud of him and I'm going to cheer him on like the loudest person in the room, but his accomplishments are not mine and I'm not going to wear them like they are. And a lot of military spouses tend to do that, which
Sure.
that's the thing. Um, and I think with surrogacy and doing something so impactful on my own,
Yeah.
like that takes people to like see less than Whitney, the Coast Guard spouse, and like, oh, Whitney, the surrogate, Whitney,
Right.
the kind person, Whitney, the giver, so especially for those people who don't want to wear their husband's rank, um, it gives them a little bit more of an identity. But
Yeah.
even surrogacy is my only identity. Like it's what I've done and I love it. I
Yeah.
will always talk about surrogacy until I'm 99 years old, but it's just a part of my story. Yeah.
I hear you there. No, yeah, that's beautiful. And it's very true because these are your accomplishments and this is a part of you. And you are just because you're a military spouse does not mean you are military. Like that's not Whitney. That's Whitney's husband. Like that's yeah.
And there's like been times where like I don't even tell people he's like in the military. Like, oh,
Oh,
what do you
really?
do? I'm like, he's a helicopter mechanic. Like, because I just don't like I get weird about because they're like, oh, thank you for your service. I'm like, I don't serve. He does. But like
Yeah.
it makes me feel like weird. But I'm also like the worst person taking compliments. So
Same.
any like compliment or anything, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I get like clammy and awkward. Like don't say that to me. Like you don't know me. Like, it's just like weird. I agree. How funny. Oh my gosh. Well, what's next for you? Would you do another journey or would you mentor other military communities who are interested?
I absolutely would. Like I really do want to do another journey.
Really? I was not expecting that.
If it's meant to be with like a sibling journey, I
Aw,
would yeah, I would love to do that. If it's meant to be, if that's, a road that opens up, I would love to do that. But I'm not like setting my whole like life on that.
for
I
sure.
would love to mentor military spouses. I would love to mentor like anyone about it, just because it's something that I'm so passionate about and so I feel so strongly about, and so many people have the wrong idea about surrogacy. And this last year has not been the best for as far as news goes for surrogacy. I mean, the two huge scandals that happened this year.
I
Like,
Isn't that crazy? They happened in the same year span.
and people are like, see, the human trafficking, blah blah blah. I'm like, no.
No, people. Those are just the things that make the news. Like,
You know, it's like saying like every white guy with glasses might have a girl in his basement because you see it on TV. No,
right.
like you can't take one bad story and relate it to an entire community of people. Like it's not how that works.
Exactly. You're exactly.
But because of the dark shadow or the dark cloud that's been on over surrogacy for so long, these
Mhm.
stories really intensify that.
Oh, 100%. And that's the aggravating part because so many of us are trying to like be like, there's happy st I promise you. Even just this podcast alone, like 98% of it is like great. Like it's the good stuff.
I'm
There's the
like,
2% that's the crap.
yeah,
Damn
it's
it.
I think like advocacy about it is so important because I mean we've got some wild comments, but I don't know, like to me, like knowledge is power in any subject.
100%. 100%. And also, just like piggybacking off what you said, every category you look at in the world, like it does not matter. And not even surrogacy, just like it could be anything. It could be animal rights. I don't know, anything. Just like there's going to always be the negative things that make the news, and you're never going to hear of like the positive things that are happening, that are going on, the way that people are fighting behind, the curtains, everything like that, until it makes the news, until some bill gets passed, until some big situation happens. And so it's frustrating.
Very frustrating. And I don't know. It's another reason like I'm so proud of the documentary because it
I'm so
really shows like the beauty and the
excited.
honesty and what surrogacy really is.
Yeah. I think that's so amazing. Like you posted that and I was like, this girl be holding out.
Yeah, I for like 2 years I'm like, when's it gonna happen?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so because this was the baby that was born in 2024.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
We
That's
started
so
filming
cool.
in October of 2023, I think. And then yeah, like we kind of just wrapped a few months ago. But I've been like waiting for it to come out.
Yeah. Well, everybody needs to definitely go watch it. Say the name of it again. I give say the name of it again.
Somewhat familiar on HBO Max.
I went familiar on HBO Max with Whitney, with the wonderful Whitney
On Tuesdays.
on
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is it like an 8 episode thing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's eight
Oh,
episodes. The episode with just us is tomorrow. It's really exciting. But I'm also really nervous, you know. But you know, when they said it was coming out last week, I kind of panicked because I was like, I can't watch myself on TV. That's weird. Like, I don't even usually like rewatch like my Instagram videos. I just post it and I'm like, never want to see it again. But watching it back last week, I'm like, I'm really proud of that girl.
100%.
Proud of her for like speaking her truth and being honest and vulnerable and, you know, like sharing something so intimate with the rest of the world. That's so important.
100%. I'm very proud of you. Not that, I put a star on you or anything, but like, like not that my proudness means much, but it's just like you're vulnerable. This is a very vulnerable thing. This is a very intimate thing. And this is a very powerful thing. And you stood on business and you used your voice. You were like, I have a voice. I'm here. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it in a beautiful light and I'm gonna help and I'm gonna advocate in every possible way that I can. And I admire you a lot.
I don't speak highly of myself very often, but I'm very proud of myself for that. And I just hope that I speak well enough on behalf of the whole community because I want it to be shared in a great light and I want people to just understand that it's such a beautiful, magical thing.
I'm I had no doubt in my mind that you succeeded with that. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for answering all of these questions that I probably have no business asking because I just just like what? But I hope it was helpful for people who are in the military because definitely that TRICARE situation.
The insurance is the biggest task. And like honestly, like there's not a whole lot of differences between a military spouse's journey and anyone else's journey. There's like a few little different nuances, but
Sure.
insurance is definitely the biggest. But yeah, like, reach out and ask questions and, you know, and definitely make sure you're staying in one place for a while because that's a big key.
Yes, for sure. I mean, for anybody, like they don't want you moving a lot. They're like, what you can't just like go from here to there. And it's like, okay, which I get. I get they need stability and, you know, different laws. If your things are signed in one state, it gets tricky if you move to another. So for sure. But yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I love being here.
Absolutely. I love talking to you. I know we gotta catch up more. Well, you have a beautiful time moving into your beautiful house.
Thank you. We're really excited about it very soon.
I know. You deserve it. I'm so excited for you. I want to see all the pictures.
I'll share some.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Have a great evening, Whitney.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you so much, Whitney, for sharing your experience and for giving some tips for the military spouses out there, as well as advocating and this new HBO series. So, everybody, that will be in the show notes. If you have any questions or stories you would like to share, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Stop.Sit.Surrogate or at my email at Stop.Sit.Surrogate@gmail.com. And this has been another episode of Stop.Sit.Surrogate. See you guys later. Bye bye.
Today's episode of Stop.Sit.Surrogate is brought to you by Nappy Ending Surrogacy Agency, Paying It Forward Surrogacy, and Surrogacy Simplified. Thank you for supporting the surrogacy community with us.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link to our YouTube channel in the description. And be sure to also check out our children's book, My Mom Has Superpowers, sold on Amazon and Etsy.